Alrighty, it's 4 o'clock. Let's do this! So, what up, everybody? Just getting started. Want to check out the audio once that music starts playing. I can be sure that it's not too loud. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I gotta remember right now to change the mic so I don't get robotic sounds. Here's what we're drawing today. Or painting, I should say. We're going to be kind of coloring, I guess. I don't know, it's always, I don't know, coloring versus painting. What is the difference, right? Well, let me sip this coffee and we can talk about it. I would say there is a difference. Coloring, I'd say, is when you're kind of coloring with the lines intact. Painting, I think, is when you're actually just taking colors and moving it with the brush kind of thing. But then, don't you have to move a brush to color it anyways? Yeah, technically you can, so... You know, it's kind of the same, but I think there's a little difference. So, let's say we're coloring this right now. Later on, I'll be painting it. But, yeah, cool. Sweet. So, this is a personal commission for someone. What we're going to be doing, especially, what's going to make this a little different than the past things we maybe colored, is that what we want to do is kind of... we're going to paint a character that's kind of halfway in shadow and half not. So it should have a kind of a cool look in the end. Since this is kind of an illustration thing, we can get away with it. If it was concept art, I wouldn't recommend that. We can talk about that later though. It's a busy day, so I really need to just get started. I'll try to talk while I'm yakking away at you guys. I mean, I'll try to talk and paint. Try to paint while I'm yakking away at you guys. Oof. But cool, so I'm just gonna start like I'm sorry to for you guys to catch me in this phase, the little base color phase or flatting. There's always a bunch of different names for it. Whatever works for you. I always call it base colors, so because I mean I don't know, they're at the bottom, so I just called them the base colors. No one else has ever called them that, so I kind of had to just, you know, suck it up over the years and get used to calling it something else. Flatting. I don't know, base color sounds cooler than flatting. Like, is it just me? I don't know. I had someone approach me and they're like, yeah, I'm a flatter if you need any stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't know. Yeah, I always thought I was a base colorist, you know, but that's neither here nor there. I'll just talk about a little bit what I'm doing. Basically, you know, I am doing the flats right now, so I'll all like get merged eventually. But just want to start separating out some areas. Cool. And yeah, as you can see, we got a background here. I already painted that before you guys got here, so you know, maybe we can do background art sometime. I'm not. Generally, I do like character design work, and like since that's what I do like professionally. Like, I feel like I'm more suited talking about that. I don't know. I don't want to like talk about some stuff that I don't really like do. Like, I still like have a lot to learn about environments, I'd say. I know the basics, but and I can kind of swing by, make it kind of look cool. Yeah, see, base colors does sound a little cooler, right? And if anybody's watching, if you're just tuning in and you see me like looking over here and like making comments as if I'm talking to someone, it's because I am. There's a nice chat room if you're watching this on like Facebook or anywhere else that you can just kind of click and view. There is, like, if you click the actual link and go to the Twitch site, you can kind of hop in the chat room. It's a little more fun if you want to ask questions or anything like that. So you are invited there. Please do come over. It's more fun that way, you know. So yeah, please do. You're all invited. Okay, so right now, like I said, I wanted to get all this base color stuff, but yeah, we're super busy week, so I didn't have time to get all the way base colored. So we are gonna, you know, be trying some base color stuff or some flatting stuff, you know. So bear with me, and I kind of want to just try out the idea of having a little like inside color on this guy's coat, and just to talk a little bit, I'll zoom in a little and talk about base color. And I figured, you know, maybe since we are catching a little bit of this, if anybody else, you know, I think a lot of people starting out like kind of do the drawing and you color under it. You know, like a lot of since it's Inktober, maybe this is a good thing to talk about. You know, So what I'm doing is, like, you'll kind of notice when I'll select stuff, I'll be very careful at some parts, but then some parts I'll just kind of move over like it's no big thing. I am doing that intentionally, and I'll tell you why, because there's some really cool things you can do to kind of like speed up the process. So for example is this little cuff link right here. And this is kind of like where if you played a lot of video games, or if you like puzzle stuff, try to turn it into a game, right? So basically I needed to be careful with this line right here. This side where I'm actually cutting into colors that are already there. This side, it's like you'll notice that I kind of went outside the lines there. It's like, but they're supposed to color in the lines. Well, you know, not always, right? So what I can quickly do is just, you know, bust out the magic wand, minus that out, and it's already gonna just like cut out everything I've already done. You know, everything that's in that, like, kind of that bled over. So, and like using that and like knowing about that, you can really speed up the base color process, because it's just like you can think of it like combos. Like, you know, you kind of want to work and you can like organize in the way, like the order in which you base color stuff. You can actually make up a lot of time and like make it go like really faster. So the example in this situation down here, let's talk about it. Right here, the only line that I have to really worry about is this one right here. All these other ones, I don't care. You know, why should we care? Now it's because we don't have to care, because we already spent the time doing those ones. Like, I already went around nicely and colored that along the line. So it's like, why would I do that again? You know, it's like you want to kind of use what you've already done to make it work for you. And then I can just quickly over there. Let's cut out this little part right here. And you see, I can go in reverse style. Sometimes it's easier just to select everything and then cut away from it. And when I'm doing that, I'm just using like plus and minus on the magic wand or lasso tool by holding alt. Yeah, see, exactly, combo it up. So it's like it's really cool. And by holding alt or shift, I can either minus or like add to that selection. So let's go ahead and just fill a dark red color in there, just so we have something. The client didn't say he had an inner color on it, so I am kind of taking a little like leap of faith here. So let's not go too crazy with it, but I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of cool. A little like, he's got a leather, like a black leather coat. What if there's a nice like color on the inside? You know, I thought it'd be kind of cool. If we don't like it, I'll say that it was your guys' idea, and you'll all be blamed. I will be forever blameless. Sorry, I got my coffee. I need to get jocked right now. If you don't know what that means, that's my little abbreviation for jacked up on coffee. It's good. Sorry, I have to sip water afterwards. Better for your teeth. Alright, so let's continue base coloring. Something like a little other thing I'll talk about is like, you know, going on the whole like combos thing. Is like you might notice that you know, it's like I didn't color in this little, whatchamacallit, this little buckle that's going to be there. Oh, do you not want the buckle anymore? No, we still want the buckle, but that's a good question. Maybe if we didn't want it, I could totally ignore it and just get rid of it. But, sorry, this music's kind of freaking me out. I don't want you guys to get scared either. Okay, cool. So that's what we need. We need a little more upbeat here. Alright, so I'm going to do this kind of like a little manually. And I could even do it in a separate layer if you know. That'd be totally fine, totally good excuse to use another layer for this. But it is such a minor thing that I kind of just glazed over it, and I wanted to add it there later because, you know, let's say if I want to put that in emboss, it's kind of nicer to have it on its own. And it's just, instead of me going and tracing around it, I could easily, since it's such a small like area, I could just use a hard brush, you know, and I'll just like that, and I just kind of right over it. You know, that doesn't mean we can leave it kind of messy like that. We still want it to be clean and nice, but I don't know. I say go with what feels right. Sometimes it feels like you need to paint it. Oh, I said painting and we're coloring. God damn it! Alright, if you want to color it, excuse me, then you can do that. Yeah, right, yeah. See, I wanted to give some little, some contrast in it. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. He's kind of like he got the red hair and stuff, so I thought maybe red on the inside of the coat would be kind of cool. You know, and maybe we could play around with that too. You know, it's like maybe, maybe the cuffs, like up here, it's not really that color. It's just kind of a normal, but the little inside, all that, maybe that's a different one. I don't know. I kind of like it better with the red though. Oh, let's see. Another cool thing to do is while you have it selected, where you can see the little ants walking around, little picnic ants. If I hold Command Shift H, actually I think that's it, or maybe it's just H. Like, yeah, Command H. Sorry, overthinking. If you use Command H, you can actually hide the lines. I mean, hide those things. So it'll kind of give you a better view on, like, you know, if you enjoy those colors, or if you like it, if they're working or not. Because sometimes when you have the when you can see those little ants, it's kind of hard to tell like how it's really gonna look in the end, and you don't want to put all this time into it and then take them off, and it's like, oh, that actually looks trappy. You know, so you can save yourself time, just, you know, or if you're showing like one of your teammates, be like, hey, what does this look like? Or they want you to try something out, you know, it's just a nice way to work. Be mindful though that it is hidden, because I mean, if you're careless and you'll be like trying to draw somewhere else, it's like, what the hell, Photoshop? You know, don't blame Photoshop. It was you did it. You told to do that. So just remember if it's hidden or not. You know, so watch out for that. That's gotten me a couple times. And if you say it's never gotten you, you're lying. Okay, just yeah. Nah, maybe it hasn't. Maybe you're that good. Who knows? This is another good opportunity. I think I will just draw it in. These little stringies on his jacket, and this is gonna look white, but it's not white. I'm actually using, see, I don't like that there either. Okay, I'm gonna do something kind of crazy now. What? Oh my god! Talk about combos and combining both those techniques. I select it, but I'm only gonna use the ones that I like. You know, sorry, what do I mean about what are the ones that I like? Basically, yes, I used that selection that I had. I didn't want to fill all that selection, but I still, you know, could use it, so I don't have to worry about staying exactly in the lines. Like, it'll save you a lot of work later on, so I highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend it. Cool. Sweet. Excellent. Okay, so he's almost done with the base colors. It's kind of cool. Maybe we could add a little. We kind of started this extra little detail layer with these colors on it. Maybe we can kind of keep that going. You know, maybe these will have these little accents on there. Dude, I thought you said we were gonna light and shade and lighting. Well, we will, but come on, we gotta finish this first. You know, one step at a time, you guys. Let's do it. Bear with me. Bear with me. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, sweet. I think that's good. Alright, I have this feather right here. I'm gonna have that get pretty white later, but I didn't want it to be white right now. Generally, like, if anybody, you know, I'll probably mention before, like, try to avoid going pure white, you know, at first, like, because then you kind of run out, like, there's nowhere to go later. You know, you can always make it lighter later. Like, there's nothing that's gonna stop you. So, you know, don't rush a good thing. Let it come naturally. Savor it. You know, whatever. Let's just get this guy some eyeballs really quick. Let's give him. Everybody deserves eyeballs. I mean, come on. So I'm just gonna lighten that up a little bit again. Not going pure white. I can even select that. Dude, how'd you select it without using the magic wand? That's a great question. I'm glad you guys asked. If I just hold Command, and you'll see the little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this little like dotted square will appear right next to the little hand. And if I select on that, it'll automatically select everything in that layer. So it's a really, really, really useful tool. Definitely check that out. This guy's got red eyes. Whoa! Cool. Alright, sweet. And I just wanted a little differentiation between his eyeball and his actual, like, skin, you know, so, no biggie. No biggie. I don't want to go pure white. Technically, maybe I could have left the actual, like, pupil, or the iris, is that what it's called, in an extra layer, but, since it's all in base colors, it's super easy to just click on something, you know, and I'll hit Command J, and it'll automatically go in a new layer, so it's super awesome. If you kind of like think about what you're doing, you can do a lot of cool stuff, and it'll like it'll streamline your work a lot more. Like people think that like computers do all the work, you know, and that computers will like make you a better artist, you know. That's like total piece of crap. Like don't listen to anyone that says that. They don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But you can, like, using knowledge and, you know, experience, you can speed up your process by using it, because it cuts out a lot of the non-drawing stuff. So it's just cool. It's just really, really cool. So let's start lighting this guy. There's some little trim on his you know, boots down there, but we can mess with that later. Let's throw some lighting on him now, and because I'm using layers, we can just add under stuff at any time. I already did a lot of like demoing on like the intricate little adding details. That's why I'm not going into it right now, but you know, I'll do that later behind the scenes. But so yeah, if anybody's curious about that, I think that's one of my other Twitch streams, and we can do it later if you guys want. You know, it's all good. It's all good. Now I'm just gonna grab some black right now. Again, if I want to get all super cool, like a lot of people when they go to like art school and stuff, they'll like come out and you can tell like when they start like their drawing and stuff, or when they like I don't even know where I'm going with this, but like how to say it. But it's like, yeah, a lot of people, they'll kind of take the principles of drawing like so seriously what they learn. It's like, okay, like all shadows must be like blue or like cools and the stuff, and it's like, yeah, you can do that, like they are, but like a common thing that I'll see is like they'll do just too much, you know. It's just not that blue. It's like, yeah, it's a little blue, but like it's not gonna be like, you know, ocean blue in the shadows. So like I mean, if you're going for a stylized look, yeah, do it. That's it's totally cool. You know, it's all fun. I mean, as long as you're having fun painting, that's chill. But like, just watch out for that. Like, try not to overdo it. It's really easy. And if you are overdoing it, hey, don't worry. Like, you know, you kind of gotta go too far to know when to pull back. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. But but try to watch out for it. That's a common thing I'll see when it's like, you know, really very like art school trained people. They'll kind of have that like super bright crazy colors, but it's all like in those yeah, they'll be using the principles of the drawing, kind of the I don't know, maybe it's a little textbooky. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it has a little textbook kind of vibe. And I got the music going okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not being drowned out by the music. Everyone can hear okay. Dan, there's a line going across there. There's a line going across there. Hey, good call. Good eye, you guys. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Sweet. And what I'm going to go ahead and do right now, actually, since I just started cutting away from the line art, since we do have, like, you know, Photoshop's so cool. There's so many layers, cool stuff. It's like, hey, why not just, you know, I'll make a duplicate of that layer, the line art. If I ever do something and I kind of don't like it down the line, I can always just go back to that one. It's always there. And it's like, you know, I can even just like cut out a part of this original line work that I like. Yeah, we'll do that in another demo. We'll do that. We'll go into line work demo another time. Right now, we got a lot of painting to do. But yeah, if the audio is not good, just let me know. I'll do my best to fix it. I'm going to kind of run through here. If anybody was watching Jess's tutorial yesterday, this is that little anime shading technique I developed. It's just a good way to get started. It kind of gets the ball rolling. You know, as you can see, like how quickly I'm moving through here. It's very gestural. Like, I don't know. It's kind of just going with it. Let's cut out this other part of this line. Cool. And the lines don't have to be exact, you know, as long as like you know where you're going with it. Like, you don't have to like make every line like perfect, you know. Yeah. You see? Somebody noticed that. Cool. I didn't even have to pretend you guys noticed it. You did notice it. Good job. Very good. Yeah, thanks you guys. And yeah, so it's like, yeah, in the end, all the lines will, you know, there'll be edges, so it's all good. But some of them, you know, we don't want it to be distracting for the viewer, you know. Some lines you can kind of just leave in there like, meh. But others, you know, that kind of, you know, everything is saying something in the drawing, you know. It's saying something to the viewer's brain. And the more you understand what things are saying, the better your drawing is going to translate. And you can see I'm kind of just going to mow over all this. Danny drew the bookmarks! No! How is he going to know where his place was in the book? Ah! Alright, don't freak out. Jeez, I swear you guys freak out over the littlest things. That's alright. That's alright. I'll bear with you guys. You bear with me. It's all good. We'll get a couple bears. Alright, cool. Cool. And yeah, again, this shade later, this is kind of the first little pass, you know, this first just going through. We're going to quickly just define like just basic shadows, like which direction is the light coming from, you know, that kind of stuff. And we can get pretty gnarly with it. When you're moving fast, yeah, I did a little sound effect. That was what that whoosh 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 was. If you guys thought I was flying, no. Don't be alarmed. Cool. Little shadow right there. Yeah, I'm not gonna focus on like super little shadows and stuff, but we will. I don't know. Watch, see what happens. Like, what's cool about this is we can kind of just go really basic with it, and then we kind of fine tune it later. Depending on, you know, if it kind of gets in the way of other stuff, whatever. I just found this to be a great way to kind of just get the lighting started. We can do another kind of nice way right now as well. I'll show you guys another little thing that's kind of nice that I like to do before this. Like even a better way to get started, like I should have done this originally. But it's kind of nice just to have a little gradient on him. And I'm gonna start it. I'm using a radial gradient, and I'm gonna start it from his head and like work down. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna work down to about the knee. But Dan, why not go all the way down? Well, that's a great question. And I don't know. At a certain point, it's kind of I want it to get pretty dark down there. Well, now it looks super blown out. All right, cool. All right, now overlay. It's a little bleachy, and I realized why I didn't want to do that. That's what I normally do. Right now, we're actually doing the kind of a layered up. What we're going to do today is we're going to have him kind of lit from the bottom and lit from the top, but the top's going to be in shadow, so it's going to have kind of a different lighting. So it's going to be a little cool. Foreshadowing, hinting. It's going to be a little cool. Anybody get that? Art joke, cool as in temperature-wise. God! The jokes are wasted on you guys. Alright, we'll mess with that gradient later. For this, I don't want it yet. I want to kind of just focus on just this general lighting. For a general like concept art, that's just a great way if you just showing like a sketch or something. Just like, hey, cool, let's throw a gradient on it. This is a nice little top-bottom kind of thing. This, we're doing bottom-top, so it's going to be a little different. Going out of the comfort zone. Why would you ever go out of your comfort zone? Well, you know, I want to get better, and if I'm not trying new things, you know, I'm not gonna get as good as I could be. You know, is this guy a wizard? I don't know, to be honest. He does have some magical stuff. I was wondering that too. The client has said he's kind of like writing in his book, and he's almost kind of like gonna be laughing, or he's like kind of almost like smirking, like he wants to start laughing. So maybe this is his joke book. You got me. Cool. See, now we can go in and get rid of some of these, because these aren't going to have that lighting. Like, these are going to pop out from the shadow a bit more. Ah, song's so cool. Sweet. So this guy does have some magical, like, heritage, I would say. Well, wrong smudge tool. Alright, cool. I don't know if King Grimm's out there, but I did have a friend of mine that was asking about kind of how to use the smudge tool, like a blender. Jessica, bless her little soul, she was kind of going in the right direction, but it wasn't all the way there. So this way I can show you exactly. The main thing, yeah, uncheck the spacing. That's it. You don't need to uncheck any other boxes. You want the transfer on because we want there to be a little fade. No transfer means it's gonna basically just like move everything without stopping. Transfer is gonna like kind of smudge it, so it's a little more natural, like a little more like you're pushing clay, you know, kind of that thing. Yeah, so be aware of that, and it's very, very, very strong tool. It's good to know. You want the transfer on. Transfer basically means I have that set to like the strength is what it's called in this, and have the jitter down 0. Have fun, mess with that. You know, it's great. Not for this though. Not for what we want to do right now. Pen pressure. It's really cool. Let's say like when you would ever want to have the kind of no transfer or anything like that. There is times for that to be really cool. Hey, there she is. That's awesome. Cool. There are times for that, like, but you know, not right now. I could, you know, I guess a good just example coming off the top of my head would be like if you're painting like kind of like ripples in the water. That is a really good time when you can actually get away with using a very hard brush, or I mean, a very hard smudger. Smudger. All right, let's excuse me for a mo. See, when I'm using this though, we gotta watch out for is that sometimes you can actually like, pull in the whole shadow, you know. So I'm gonna have to. I can easily. What's cool about this, you know, technique again is I can easily just kind of, you know, toggle between the brush and the smudge tool at any time and just, you know, go with it. Just touch it up accordingly, because, you know, I mean, if everything was just like came super easy and there was nothing to really fix, like everything was just like one shot, I mean, would that be fun? I mean, no, it's like that'd be too easy. Then everybody could draw, you know. It's like, no, it's like it's that things take time. You got to kind of work with it, get it going. Dan, when are we gonna see this shady side, sunny side thing? Well, I don't know. And if you guys keep up that attitude, you'll never see it. Okay, so pipe down, or we will turn this drawing around and go back home. Nah, cool. Just I want to get this basic stuff, because there's like, even regardless if you're in the shadow or light, or if you have that cool like, you know, like half shadow thing that we're gonna be doing, there's still just like the basic principles of the light, which we're doing right now, which is, and what I mean by basic principles is like where the light is going, and it's always like going towards the viewer, because like the camera, where the camera is like is a huge factor of lighting. So that's why, like, yeah, some things will change, but like the camera never changes, you know. So that's why you can kind of some of these things, that's why what I'm doing right now, even though we're gonna get a little fancy with the lighting later, that's why right now I want to do it just this way, just to get the general form rounded out on him. Because this stuff is the lighting, this is like kind of this is just the basic form of him, like showing that it's like, I mean, these shapes, regardless of if the lighting is like kind of like being broken by a shadow, or if we do that cool like spotty tree lighting, there's still going to be, you know, these basic like form shapes that you gotta show. And so that's what we're doing here. We can get fancy later, but once, if this is working, the other one will work super nice, you know. It's kind of where it's gonna separate later and kind of change is basically a lot of the colors are gonna change when you get fancy with the lighting. Not necessarily like the forms. You know, like the form will pretty much stay the same. Like a lot of this stuff will stay the same, but just the whole like warm and cools factor is really gonna change. Cool. And what's good about this little shading technique, you see I can kind of have some areas more sharper than others. It's really nice. It's very, very, very helpful. Maybe we can even go and just have a little bit right there. Is that too much? Yeah, I don't like that either. We'll mess with that on the highlight, because I do like the kind of like the crease that's going down the front of his pants that would cause a little angle. But for right now, let's chill. We'll leave that for there. That's, you know, not to be done in the shadow. The shadow, think of it like the major things that are going to be lit, unlit. We can go with the little stuff later, like all the stuff in the hair. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, That might have been just more fun for me than anything else. We'll see if it stays there. Place your bets. We'll see if it's still there. Okay, cool. So that's going all right. And I can just manually shade in some areas if I want to just get a little more, show a little more of the cloth folds and stuff. It's pretty chunky, but that's all right. That's all right. And I'm using actually like a half soft, half hard brush to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. It's like that. Pretty cool, huh? So it's like I'll draw it across him so you can see it super, or up here in this dark spot on the tree. See that how the bottom half is hard but the top half soft? Call it the hard softy. Patent pending. No, I'm just kidding. It's a really tough brush to make. If you subscribe to my Patreon, you can get it. You're invited to make it. It's not looks super easy to make. I mean, it's like one half soft, one half hard. What's the problem with that? You know, but it's like, yeah, try it and see how it goes. It took me like 45 minutes to like make it, and that was after a few tries. Like, I don't even know. I made it so long ago. I haven't tried to make it again, but it was a life changer basically when I made that brush. It is a very advanced brush too because of. And I'm sorry if this is a little more of the advanced Photoshop side of stuff. I do apologize if this is kind of like just going over people's heads. If you need me to slow anything down or you just have basic questions, just let me know. I will do my best to accommodate. But yeah, what the hell is this music? Yeah, sorry. See, music can just totally derail me. It's like trying to have an honest conversation with you guys. We're all having fun, you know, and then this happens. What is this? I didn't ask for you to be here. Alright. Oh, God. Alright, now this song is cool, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, cool. Let's cut that out. Cut this one out. Cut it out, you guys. Cut it out. Alright, cool. I think we're ready to move on to a slightly other phase. Are we gonna do the fancy lighting? Are we gonna do the shadow and light side? No, god damn it. I will tell you guys when we do that. Maybe once I get a little more coffee in me. Sweet. Alright, cool. Now let's move on to some little highlights. What we want to do right now is you might be asking how I made a new layer. You can either come down and touch this little like piece of paper thing down here. For me, reaching that far across the screen is just too much work. Alright, I'm not gonna you can also hit Command Shift N. That's another way to do it. That's fine. Then you have to enter afterwards. That's why you'll see this little damn it. Now see, I've got like a shotgun that's like so you know, such an automatic reaction. This little like I have a cool little like I don't know what this is called, a little thumbstick, and this is a button right here too. And I just have an angle on that, and it's actually the bottom like side angle, so I just kind of roll my finger and pa. So it's like a really cool. Yeah, I know, right? Alright, cool. Damn it. Alright, had to stop myself. Command Shift N, you'll see this thing. Boom, enter. Made a new layer. That's the you know, the real way to make new layers. You can also duplicate layers. Like I say, if you're like you forget, yeah, you recognize music. Excellent. Let's say you know you forget the hotkey for duplicate layer. We'll do some basic Photoshop stuff right now. Forget duplicate layer. You know, I remember it easily because you know Harley Quinn. Command J, Mr. J. Remember that. If you don't remember that, then just be like, what can I do? It's like, well, there's the new layer one. Actually, if you drag this layer down, or you don't have a keyboard, you can't do hotkeys, drag this down onto the new layer. So the layer that you already made that you want to duplicate, drag it down to that little new layer icon, the page one, and then boom, it'll automatically duplicate it. It's really useful. Like it's nice to know like a couple ways to do stuff. You'll never know when you'll be in a position where it's like it might, you know, be imperative to know that. You know, you never know. Think of it like survival in the wilderness. You know, it's you never know what'll happen, and it's good to know some stuff. So cool. Without further ado, let's go ahead and add a little
Some little highlights. Yeah.
Cool. And now I'm gonna switch up that brush. I have you could basically like damn it. Sorry, pressing the wrong buttons. Alright, this thing right here, let's talk about this. Alright, let's go to something else. Transfer. Alright. This little says we're brush tip shape here. It looks nothing like a button. You would never think that it's a button, but apparently it is. So when you press that, you can actually see the tip shape of your brush and the angle on it. Angle is really important. That's what we're going to mess with right here. Basically, between that one and this other one I have, basically just flipping the angle. I guess it doesn't show you that, but I promise you that it is a flipped angle. And basically I'm going to flip that so that, let's show you right here. Now I've got the brush, but it is going the other direction. So now the hard side is, stop it! Stop it! Alright, cool. Now I can show you. Now the hard side is on the top. So, why would I care if it's on the top or the bottom? Well, you should care because it's really important. And right now we're on the top because we're going to do a lot of like highlighting stuff, and generally speaking, light is coming from the top. How can you survive the tacos in the wilderness? I don't know, man, but I'm actually going to be getting some tacos after this stream is done. That's going to be my little reward to myself. And you're probably thinking good tacos, but I'm actually just going to go to Taco Bell because I haven't had Taco Bell in so long, and like everybody that I know like hates it, but I secretly love it. So that's where I'm going. You guys can try to stop me, but we'll see. Cool. Now let's start adding a little lighting here. Excellent. Okay. Now this is why I'm using this hard softy, but it's going up. Because generally speaking, a lot of the light, yeah, is coming from the top. And, yeah. Hey, cool. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Awesome. Excellent. And this brush is really cool. It works really great for, like, cloth folds and stuff. Because you can kind of just control it a little better. Yeah, I'll just add some stuff right there. Cool. We can add a little on his face. His skin's already so bright, you know. You guys might be thinking right now, like, what about the blood step? You're not doing the blood step. You're right. Good call. You guys have been paying attention. That's good. That's good. We'll do that later, I guess. I'm trying to do stuff that I haven't done as much on the streams. You know, just because I don't want to be covering the same points every time. But, so I'm working in a slightly different procedure than I normally would. And let's talk about why I'm lighting here. Ding! Why do you light there? Well, I'm glad you guys asked. Basically, what you want to be thinking about. Let's go ahead and stop the drawing process. Put on our thinking caps, and let's start talking about light physics here. Yes, cool. On planes. Okay, so what you want to think about is like, and a lot of people miss this, you know, when they're shading stuff, they'll be like, let's go back to the shading layer, let's do this, and they'll shade the arm like this, they'll shade that arm like that, they'll shade this like this, and it's like, let's take that off, and if everything's the same highlight, it's not really a highlight, you know, you're basically just making that thing lighter. So what you want to be thinking about, and it's so much easier to say than do, because just like our brains, like it's basically the right and the left brain are like constantly like toggling, and like artists, like we're good at kind of just like turning that off and like not listening to our brains, if that makes sense. And so basically what we can do is like, you know, because our brain's gonna be like, oh, well, light the whole arm. It's gonna think the arm. When you hear arm, you're just gonna think arm, you know. But it's like, no. We need to think about where the lighting is gonna hitting that arm as like each shapes. Like you have to think of it not as an arm, but as just shapes. So actually, what's happening is like this is like it's more of a shape like that. And what that means is that these side planes are not gonna get as much light as up here should. And so it's like, be thinking that when you're doing it. And it's really hard for people like that. It's really tough because, you know, you don't think that, you know, it's hard because it's just such a little area. Look at that, just like right there. Generally, like I'd probably like kind of have it a little more like that. just so you can see a little bit of it. This side right here, it's like you don't get it shaded at all. Like, that's why it's so hard for people to understand this. You know, it's hard for even, you know, experienced artists to like kind of turn that off and not do that sometimes. Just because it's like, you know, you want to start highlighting everything. You want to just add it to everywhere, but you can't. You know, you can't. That's why it was like, for this whole book area, it's like just having that all be in shadow. It's like, just kind of difficult. It's like, whoa, what? Like, I can't have that in the shadow, but it's like, when you think about it, the light's coming from above like we want it. Like, it's actually going to be like kind of cutting in like this. So that means that this whole bottom, it's just, I'm sorry, bro, like, you don't get any light. You know, it's sad, but I guess some parts have to be left out. You know, and you got to think about that, like, especially when you start getting down here, it's really tough, because this, yeah, it's a square. We get it, dude, I get it's a square. But, like, by the time you get down there, it's hard to think, like, this plane is so flat up here versus these, it's kind of tough to, like, not give it lighting, you know. It's like, I know it sounds kind of weird, but try and see what happens to you. Like, see if you can just light on the shoulders and that. You know, it's technically just the top of his head, and where else is it? Yeah, so this will be getting a lot of light, just right there. Boom, boom. Tips of these. Yeah, this top part of the book. This side will get a little more, because you got to think, it's like, alright, cool, there's this little box right here, is like pelvis, and these are coming out like that. This will get a little more light, you know, and that's nice, you know, but, you know, is the other leg left out? That kind of sucks, you know, it's sad. So sometimes you gotta not be emotional and just, you know, think of like the Soup Nazi. If anybody knows Seinfeld, it's like you have to just be stern, you know. No light for you. Like, some parts just don't get light. You can't, you know, not every part can get it. So, yeah, it's sad. We'd love all the image to get light equally, but it just doesn't work that way. So cool, be thinking about that when you're working, so that'll kind of explain a little bit. So now when I turn it off, you can see how it's like, it's starting to look a little more dimensional there. You're starting to see a little more on that shoulder. Jeez, didn't take you that long just to explain how to light a shoulder? Okay, well, if you think you can do better, bring it. You know, nah, cool. So, let's start messing with this one. This is a round thing, you know, so we can, see, I want to add some light right here. Technically, there would be a little, so we'll just very little right there. But you can see how already, just even that, it's already getting. Let's bring this over here. Let's bring Dr. Color, our freaking color manager. Alright, so that's that. Let's see where that is. And mainly, you want to be looking at the value, this bottom one right here. This is a good HSV. You don't have to be using this fancy color picker to use that. You can use the normal one. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Where's the goddamn color? Alright, see, this is why I like this other one. Like, Photoshop, they really kind of stiff it to you with the color bars. It's like, really? Like, that's all we get? That's as big as it gets? Like, I don't know, can we make it bigger? No. So, right, it's like, cool, I think it's Photoshop. Sweet. Oh, man, that sucks. Ren, damn. I wish, damn, try it again. Try it again. We need you in here, Ren. No, you know, no viewer left behind. That's our policy. This is like the freaking army here. Alright. So let's, so yeah. HSB, same here. They call it B right here, just for black, you know, value, black, same thing. It's all the same thing. Why I recommend using these ones, you can use a lot of different ones. If you want to try them out, there's this little, like, you know, this little arrow with a bunch of lines right here. Yeah, we know what a menu icon looks like, Dan. Well, maybe you didn't, okay? Maybe the guy next to you didn't know, so he's off. Cool. And there's all these little ones like RGB. Yeah, cool, man. Like RGB, all colors is like a monitor. No, don't use RGB. Grayscale, come on, get out of here. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Don't even, you guys are just being silly now. The lab sliders, I forget what those are. I think I used it for a little while just because it was kind of cool, and it does have the value at the top, but yeah, no, don't even mess with that. Web colors, get the hell out of here. Yeah, so basically, yeah, use the HSB. Why? Because it gives you the most control. You get the hue. It's kind of the most basic and the most control. Alright, this color rainbow, cool. You get all the colors of the rainbow, your Crayola, everybody's seen that. The saturation is really cool because it allows you to see, you know, exactly how much color is in that, as well as the value, which you guys probably all know, the whole grayscale thing. You know, so it's like, yeah, use it. That's the one you want to use. HSB. That gives you the most control. And now let's use that to double check what we're doing right now. All this just to double check something. Alright, cool. So this highlight is right there. So we got 31, 31. Alright, cool. Sorry, it's just 31. They're both saying the same thing. If they weren't saying the same thing, that would be a huge problem. Alright, cool. 35. Okay. So that's where the problem is right there. So this thing, we'll just say 30, round it up. This is 35. 5, like, you know, hue difference, or I mean value difference, is not enough between these planes. Something that's on the side should not be anywhere close as the top one. So unfortunately, you know, we all love light. We all want to, you know, be on the light side. Nah, I'll bet some of you guys are Sith out there. But yeah, we all like to, but unfortunately, you know, I'm sorry, you can't stay at the party. We got to take you out. Yeah, so there you go. It's, you know, it's harsh. My baby boy. That little highlight was my boy. All right, cool. We can't give a little there though, you know. But that's what I'm talking about. You gotta, you know, you gotta call limits somewhere. So, yeah, all that just to say, mind the planes, be aware of that stuff. Blah 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 blah. Where is the big fancy color picker? It's not. You have to get that separately. It's yeah, it's called Coolerus 2, and you actually have to pay for it. I'm not gonna lie about that. There's a free one. I'll show you guys that right now. There's a free one. I think it's called like the Painter Wheel. Let me find it really quick. And you'll be in the extension, so you have to put it in there. Here's like the free version of it. I mean, yeah, it's not great. I mean, doesn't this one just like look super freaking cool? I mean, I think it just gives you a confidence boost having it there more than anything. So yeah, this free one, it's not great. But when you compare it with the one that Photoshop gives you, like, I cannot stress enough how much they shaft us with the color thing here. It's like, really, like, you're supposed to, like, how are you supposed to tell which, like, precise color you're getting with just that small thing, you know? It's like, Jesus! Alright, so as you can see, you know, it's almost like, I don't know, Biffy, Stiffy, and Dork over here. You know, it's like 1, 2, 3. So, yeah, Coolerus 2, definitely take a look if you can. If you want to get really serious. I forget how much it costs. I can't imagine it costs more than 15 bucks though. I got it so long ago, I don't even remember. It could have been $2, it could have been 15, it could have been $17.99. I have no idea anymore. It is worth it though. It is, I don't know, it just gives you such a better view of your colors. Like, that was one thing that I do like about Painter versus Photoshop. Like, Photoshop, there's like, well, why would we give you colors when you can just use a photo asset, you know? So, yeah, whatever. We'll just go with it. So let's finish shading this shoulder. You know, we spent enough time talking about it. I can even, you know, add a little more darkness to that if we need to. Maybe just around the back. This kind of flips out a little bit here, so I can use that hard softy to kind of just, whoo, you know, just a little, whoo. Cool, just a little bit there. Like that, you know. Maybe you can almost see some lines there. Hey, let's use that old smudge blender we got. We can just ease that one out. Nice transition. When everything's smooth and smooth. Nice. See this little shadow right here? I'm not digging that. Let's get that out of there. And kind of when you pull it in the way that when you're moving this the shadows around like that, push and pull it in the direction that goes with the shadow wherever you're trying to like show, basically. Hey, I want to cut this out just because this is a hard edge right here. Cut it out. Alright, cool. That's a little too hard. Let's soften up that side of it. Nice. Okay, cool. Nice. So we started doing some general, you know, highlight lighting. Let's just add a little bit over here. Maybe we can do that cool thing I was talking about where I only want it to be on this side. I'm going to be very gentle, and then I'm going to come back just because this top side would be closer to the light. So we're going to have that be up a little more. Let's just add some little crinkles on his crotch. Nice. Come on, grow up, you guys. Sweet. Yeah, I see a little choppiness in this shadow. Let's just smudge that over, you know. It still technically is a round surface. Cool. I like this hard one there. You know, cloth is pretty cool. Round and hard edges. Yeah. Color. Cooler. Is it called Cooler? K-U-L-E-R? Nuts. Right on. Sweet. Yeah, if anybody's wondering who I'm talking about, yeah, if you're just tuning in or anything like that, we do have a chat room going in the actual Twitch feed. If anyone's interested, if you want to hop in there, you can ask questions, all that good stuff. Let's start doing some contact shadows right now. So I want to kind of draw over that same line. Then I'm going to draw over each side of it. And, oh, let's try it. Can I even draw over each side of it? Jesus. Cool. And you see we got these little like fragments of stuff from back when, like, you know, the original drawing, you know, it's like kind of, I was kind of forming it. You know, yeah, we could just be like, ew, like, go away, and delete it, you know, but it's like, hey, maybe, you know, this guy's in Fantasyland. Sorry, that makes it sound weird. He's in, like, fantasy times, you know, and it's like, you know, he's out in the forest. I mean, is his coat that clean, you know? So maybe let's use these to just be kind of, you know, use little, like, debris, or little just, like, nicks, and, like, just cuts in his uniform. There's coat. It'll give it a little more like natural feeling, you know. And again, like, I know I've mentioned this before, so I won't talk about it too long. But it's the whole, you know, new Star Wars versus old Star Wars kind of stuff, you know. It's like the older ones are kind of nicer because there's a lot of little dinks. Everything was like pretty used and worn. The new ones are so clean that it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't have that same like realistic feel to it. You know, and you can say like, yeah, you're an 80s kid, Dan. You know, you grew up with Street Sharks. Well, I don't have to grow up with Street Sharks to know, you know, that things kind of get a little wear and tear. Street Sharks were cool though. Alright, sweet. Cool. And these are kind of just like contact highlights. So you might be wondering like, whoa. Everything just gets a highlight? I thought you said only certain planes do. Well, certain planes get highlights. These are kind of just little like contact ones. So it's really just going to show where things are kind of meeting each other. It's technically it's supposed to be like the two little points that come together like that. There is still like there's these edges on them, and technically edges are like small little rollovers or corners. So they actually have a lot of little points that light could hit and react to. So that's why we're going to give them some quick highlights. And I'll try to move quickly so you guys don't get bored. Nah, that'll never happen. You guys are so bored. I'd be so bored. Nah, just kidding. I hope it's not that boring. But cool. So yeah, and this will kind of, yeah, it'll just really, you know, it's the contact shadows. It kind of just reinforces all the little areas. You know, okay, a good example is like, I'm not going to add it down here. You know, it kind of almost works there. Then why does that almost look alright there? Well, that's a good question, because that's actually where the backlighting would go. Yeah, so yeah. Thanks, Eternal Stars. That's the backlighting would go. That's not really like contact shadow lighting. So we're going to save that for something else. Let's bring it up here. This is a good spot. There's a lot of little stuff going on. I can also use this, you know, portion this layer, this little step, kind of touch up some of the line work too. Anything that I wasn't totally happy with, I could kind of just go over that. Alright, so there's a little shadow hanging over here. That's not the end of the world. Hey, I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going gonna freak out! Alright, cool. See, I didn't freak out. Told you guys. Oh, cool. Hey, we're all cool here. Cool. Alright. I'll go ahead and delete back there, too, just so we can get a little more. Do I like that red back there? I don't know. Okay, I do not know. Hey, what up? Framing. Awesome. Making it out. Sweet. Awesome. Alright, yeah, let's do some, let's just keep it going. I'll step overdrive. Less talking, explaining things, more just doing. Alright, I was telling Jessica. She was here, I'm like, I gotta overdrive mode. What do you chat or the whole time? It's like, alright, like this, blah, but I can't help it. I have to stop and explain everything. Is that wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Robot sound, thank you guys for that. Excellent. Hey, LP John's hosting, the host with the most. Thank you very much. Sweet. Cool. And let's say here's a little part on his collar right here. I know there was no dinks in the line work, but that doesn't mean we can't dink it up right now, you know. So there you go. There's little mess ups on there. I don't know. Just trust me. When things are too clean, it's like kind of I don't know. Let's rephrase that. If I was working on like a vehicle, like a sci-fi vehicle or something, yeah, we'd probably want things super clean. When you're working with characters and more organic stuff, like clothing, you know, anything that's kind of I'd say been, I don't know, around for a little while. It's just nice to have some dinks in it. Oh, this music. I just want to start crying right now. Oh, God. Seiketsu! Cool. Oh, we in Chinatown now. Jam Coradoberry. Awesome. This is from Guilty Gear. Excellent game. Cool. Alright, just clean up a little bit on the line work right there. Sweet. Alright, cool. How much do we know time? We got 1 hour left. Okay, we'll do a little more of this contact shadow stuff, and then we can move on to the crazy lighting. You know, it's not really technically ready for that yet, but you guys don't care. You guys just want to see the magic, right? Cool. So let's just get a little more stuff. You can see how right there already, it kind of just having those hots on each side, kind of just it feels like it's more like connected, and then yeah. sorry for the robot again. I should have been ready for that. I think like there's a a digital entity in the microphone that's doing that. Maybe since we're working on Eternal Stars, the Sinophant's in there or something, trying to hack in and steal my soul. Alright, cool. Shibbity-bibbity-bibbity. Let's, what do we want to do right now? Do you guys, I feel like I kind of demoed the little contact shadow stuff, so I don't want to kind of bore you guys with that. We can either do the texture right now, we can add some texture to them. We can, what else is on the grocery list? Textures of pants, we can add little details or we can just start going into the fancy pants lighting. Nice. That's funny. What up, G? Every time someone says that, like, I remember I used to hang out with like a good friend of mine like a lot, and he would always greet me with like, "Hey, what up, G?" And since my name starts with a G, I always thought he was saying like, "Oh, what up, G?" Like Jeff, you know. And it's like, I'd be like, "Hey," and then one day someone else was over, like someone else came over when it was like that, and it's like, "Hey, what up, G?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Why'd you call him that? Like, I'm the G. Like, what?" And he's like, "Oh, I never realized that. Like, it's funny." And like years, I thought I was so special and had this unique greeting from my friend, and then it all just crumbled. And then, yeah, I've never spoken to him since. Gosh. Oh man. So a little stuff thing, I'll just mention it right here. Like added a little layer, just a little section where, you know, thinking about where the cloth actually ends, where this other one comes in, like the interior red cloth, where this one ends. This little part right here, yeah, I should just delete the line work, but that's one of those things you just easily paint over so fast. The reason why I don't want you guys to just get in the habit of just like, oh, okay, just paint over everything, is like, it can kind of, you know, it's really good sometimes, but sometimes it can kind of like mess it up if you want to change something small underneath it. Like, let's say I go to change this guy's coat color. It's like, awesome, alright, cool. And the client's like, you know what, make his coat green. And then it's like, we go back and we see this little spot back here, and it's like, oh no, crap, what do we do? Hey, but that's alright. I can show you guys some really cool stuff, how to solve that problem easily, even if you do that. But we're not going to do that today because you guys haven't earned it yet. You guys have been way too mean to me, and I do not appreciate that. No, just kidding. Everybody's been super cool. So thank you for that. I do notice that his line art's a little orangey in there, and I don't want to say it's pissing me off because I don't want to lose my cool on air, but it is really pissing me off. Nah, I'm just kidding, it's cool. Let's try to just do one thing really quick, is I'm gonna actually blur out the line art a little bit.
Then why would you blur out the line work?
Well, it's a great question. You didn't have to ask it all weird like that, but that's a great question. And I will be happy to tell you. The reason why I did that is it kind of, it'll soften it up. See, I don't know if I like it out there as much. Let's try it. Control Z, Control Z. Yeah, see, it doesn't really work out there. Under here, it's a little nicer. Under here, under where? Didn't you say things that we don't understand you? Alright, sorry about that. When it's underneath the main base color layer, main base color layer, I mean everything else but the skin. I know when I toggled that on and off, it didn't look like anything changed at all. Well, that's probably because it probably didn't, but let's do that again. Let's try that again. Alright, boom. There you go. He's naked. Nah, not really. Just because you can see all skin doesn't mean he's naked. Oh. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, I used to be a game master, but now Peachon's taken over on our DM stuff. If that's what you meant by GM, unless you meant general manager, that's funny. Oh man. Cool. Alright, sweet, let's keep it going. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Let's just add some texture. I kinda wanna do that. We still got an hour, so I don't think we need to go into that crazy lighting just yet. Like, to be honest, I'd rather get as much of the little detail stuff done before we jump into that. So I'll try to delay it as much as we can. I know you guys are so looking forward to that. Then I joined the stream because I wanted to see how to lighten shadow and sun. Alright, calm down. Like I said, you guys are drinking too much coffee out there, not me. You guys are the one that are jocked. Cool. So I'm gonna really quick, if you guys don't mind, just add some little binding to this book right now. Let's do some of these edges. That's so at an angle. I'm just basically gonna just make some kind of little shape there, and it'll, you know. What's really cool about painting and drawing, more so painting than drawing, but drawing I'd say the same thing. What's really cool about like art in general is that like, or the human mind, it's like it'll kind of like fill in the gaps. Like if you do something. And like that's why speed painting is so cool. Like you can do things and then it will basically, yeah, it crap, I didn't say, like if you do one part of it and have like one detail layer and it kind of doesn't line up all the way, like your brain will automatically just like fill in the pieces. And it's like, okay, like if you have a tiled floor and like you have it kind of going into another area and it's not lining up exactly right, if you just add a little sand there or something, our brain will just be like, whoop, okay, tile floor, got it. All right, moving on. You know, it's like it's really cool, and that's basically the whole reason why painting, drawing and painting works. Well, I can see that in painting, but how would that affect drawing? Well, I'm glad you guys asked. Actually, drawing, it's like kind of when, you'll have a line that goes and it doesn't fully connect to another line. Our brain will just like, whoosh, they just see that shape as a whole, and they'll be like, oh, that's just the light side, like it'll automatically fill in the gap between that line. It's super, super awesome. And the more you think about that stuff, hey, thanks for coming in, Havoc. Again, if anybody's just tuning in, please give me a follow. I'd really appreciate it. It's a little heart icon down there. If you're watching this on Facebook or something, if you could hop over to the Twitch stream, you can join the chat room. You can ask fun questions. We'll have a laugh. I don't know. If you know any cool jokes, it'll be better to say it in the chat than by yourself on Facebook. Like if you comment on the Facebook stream with a joke, I won't be able to read it until afterwards, So it's not gonna be good, it just doesn't work that way. Cool. You guys forgot to touch up his boots. You guys are fired. Everyone in the stream, you gotta get out now. You guys didn't do your job. It's over. That's cool. I'm just gonna have that as black. And again, why I'm just using black for this is just because it affects every color the same. It's just such an easy way to start the shading. I mean, again, yeah, technically there's supposed to be some blue in it, but haha, I got you because I do have a little blue inner glow layer that's making it blue. So, tricked you. Halloween, you got tricked. You got tricked. Alright, cool. Nice. So that's why, and again, just using the black, I can always, use that cool thing where it's like, I hold command, we can select all that, I can fill it in with blue, and then it's like, ooh, now, oh, God, you guys made it fill in the wrong layer. Alright, there we go, yeah. Ooh, now it's blue, but then I'd have to put it in like a multiply layer or something, and is it really that different? Like, let's just Control Z and look at that. Before or after, I mean, wouldn't you say that that's the appropriate response for that? So, it's not a big deal. And it's so easy to just add it later if you feel like you're not getting enough of that kind of, if you want to go for more moody light, sunny side, shady side. It's also really good to think about using blues in the shadows if you wanted to have something in the shadow but still show the details of it, so yeah, it's important to know, but it's don't feel like you always have this shadow with blue or purple, just try black, see how that goes. What they say, once you, no, God, don't even say that on my stream. That's way too cool. Oh. Yes, this is a personal commission for someone. It's actually a D&D character, or an NPC. I wonder if he's a bad guy or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, he's an NPC for someone's D&D campaign. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I wanted to have this finished by today, but you guys know how it goes in the entertainment business. It's just everything gets set back, pushed back, you can never finish anything on time. That's alright, I'm gonna do my best. Stay up late, get this done. Cool. Sweet. What the heck were we doing? See, alright, here's a good example. Remember I said, sometimes it's not it sounds strange to be painting is not a good idea. Because it's why would that ever be, said? But sometimes it can work against you. It's we have that cool gradient thing to kind of go with the lighting of the whole scene. Kind of just started off, and I could even fade that out 50%. That's a little better. But still, with that there in the contrast, you see how it'll affect everything but that layer that I added the extra little paint over on his collar up here. Is that my fault? Is it your guys' fault? It's your guys' fault, but this is a good example of why sometimes just painting over something isn't the best decision in the long run. But then, couldn't technically you just move that gradient layer upwards? Alright, don't be a smartass. Yeah, we could do that, but I don't want it to be over some other stuff. Yeah, we could do that. Nah, but we're not going to right now. We're gonna save that for later. Cause the reason why is because I've already kind of geared stuff to be on top of it. If we have it below, it'll kind of I don't know. If you kind of have it below and you've already painted overlay or like kind of stuff above it, and you move it over that, it'll kind of it can mess up the whole contrast. Right now it's not so bad, but later on the line, it's something to be aware of. The order of the layers can help a lot, or it can have a great effect on the stuff. So, and that goes with the whole combo thing. It's like if you pay attention to how you're layering your layers and that kind of stuff, organizing them properly, you can like save some like file size. Being like, all right, this is just my little contact shadow layer, and I try to do all the contact shadows in that layer, or like contact shadows, like the little minor details, that kind of stuff, little minor highlights. Then you could have like the general first overlay layer, I call it, just because it's like, all right, this is the first highlight sweep. Nice, yeah, gotta love D&D characters. Awesome. I cannot get enough D&D. It's canceled this week, so I'm all super sad. It's like, I just wanted to play. I want to play so bad, but it's alright. It's alright. It would be cool to play, like, have some game on here. It's like, DM everyone in the chat room. It's like, alright, you guys got to do this. What do you want to do? But I don't know how that would work. I'd love to play D&D online with some other people, though. But yeah, that's here nor there. Let's get back to painting. You guys always derail me, I swear. So cool. Let's go back to some contact shadows for this. Again, I already painted over some stuff on this layer, so you guys already screwed me over. That was so not our fault, then. Well, if it's not your guys' fault, then it's my fault. I don't want to admit that, okay? I'm the host. I'm supposed to be doing things correctly. Nah, it's alright. It's all for educational purposes. So cool. I just want to touch up this little spot right here. And like I said before, it's like I kind of use the bounce house technique. Some people, and I know I just said like organizing the layers. That doesn't mean you can't bounce around with stuff. Just because I know just because I have the layers organized for certain stuff, like, oh, these are only contact shadows allowed in this one, only the base layer is allowed in that one, or like the base colors. That doesn't mean you can't like hop around. You can still hop around and kind of do stuff, like kind of tweak little things here and there. If that works for you. For me, that's how I like to do it. I slowly kind of just, build up. I guess it's more of a sculptural way to do it. But that doesn't mean if you're really into if you're a little more systematic and it's just like, no, I have to shade everything all right now, then I do the highlights all right now. That's cool. Hey, whatever works for you. For me, the bounce house. I just bounce around the whole thing and slowly kind of build it all at once. I do highlights, shadows all at one time, kind of thing. Well, not all at one time. I definitely do stuff in order, but that doesn't mean I can't go back to it and mess with that one. Anyone else have fun or interesting characters? Not as interesting as mine. Nah, cool. Yeah, hell yeah. I hope so. The girls have some pretty cool characters. I'll let them tell theirs. My character that I'm playing with right now, Reed, the one I did that the inking of, it's like, yeah, he looks so like, he's not very like fancy pants or anything, or like super interesting, but I don't know, I know my play style now, and like, he's just so fun to play as. It's like, I just love it. I don't care if he doesn't look as cool. He's kind of cool. He's got like some flags with him, so that's his like one like little interesting thing. But in general, yeah, he's got a pretty plain design. Dude, you made him look just like you. Yeah, whatever. I just want to be able to do cool ass stuff in the game. That's all I'm into. So his looks, yeah, that's important. Oh, cool! Hey, that's such a cool link. Not nice. Thanks, Peachon. Thanks, moderators. Whoever did that one. The girls got my back. Yeah, I love evolution of characters. Like in the main quest that my friends did, like we had this long one. I got a DM for like a long running one, like a 9-month campaign, and it was really cool. Like character evolutions, like I'm all about that. Like it was pretty cool. Like the characters they thought were their enemies, you know, they ended up kind of like fighting alongside with at the end. It was a lot of fun, you know, like characters that thought were their friends ended up being like, you know, one of them ended up being the freaking Demon Emperor, and I won't get into that. That was gnarly. Yeah, Pichon has some crazy one. Yeah, what up? LS Rude. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for joining my humble stream. Oh yeah, speaking of the stream, I'm titling it Photoshop Psychology just because, you know, there's a lot of painting ones. Yeah, I'm painting, but my goal is to kind of get you guys thinking about Photoshop differently, thinking about how you're working digitally a little differently. So you can kind of develop like a way of like seeing things to help you improve in the long run. You know, yeah, there's always like tutorials online about how to like shade, light, all that stuff. You guys have seen that, but I just wanted to kind of develop like a mindset for how to like navigate this crazy software Photoshop. So I'm gonna do something a little interesting right now. Is it interesting? Is it super lame? You guys can tell me in the end. We'll see. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually take the line work that is there right now. I just made a little selection of it. And then I'm going to invert it. What? Invert? I know, right? Crazy, huh? And I basically just turned this line art into a highlight. Woohoo! Isn't that fun? That's cool, right? Who would have ever thought to do that? I know, see, that's why this is Photoshop Psychology. I apologize, I don't have glasses, so I don't look very smart, but and I know I'm not, but either way, you know, still know some stuff about this, so it's fun. I know some interesting little things, so hopefully, you know, using that, you can use that on other stuff too. Like I could take that on, I don't know, this works really good in some cases. You know, it flipping the line art is gnarly. The reason it worked, let me explain also, is I have my line art in an overlay right now. If it was just normal line art, it probably wouldn't look as good. It might look alright because it's on metal right now. Yeah, see, it's white, you know, but when it's on the overlay, it's pretty cool. We could even, let's try it on these like book pages and stuff. Whoa, what? You know, maybe I can take the bottom one right here, flip that one. You know, it's interesting. Try it out. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Alright, that one got out of control. Let's, maybe that's enough of that right now. I got a little crazy. But it's nice, yeah. Let's try it on the feather, too. This thing's so light and, like, feathery. Maybe we can do it for every part except for this little middle line. Ooh, see? I don't know. Kind of crazy, right? I still do not like that. Alright, well, maybe this far side doesn't have to be like that. Alright, let's see what happens if I invert that. Oh crap, now the middle turns that way. Invert again. Oh, now it's back that way. Alright, well, what can we do? We can hit Command U, bring the hue to saturation, lightness down. Destroy all light. Boom. See, now it's all dark. Yeah. Don't have to worry about it. It's crazy. Whoa. Cool. Nice. Sweet. Awesome, yeah, everybody's talking about their D&D characters, sweet. If anybody's just tuning in, if you give me a follow, that'd be great if you're watching this on like Facebook or something. I see you! No, actually, I can't see you. That's just a camera. But yeah, feel free to hop in the actual Twitch stream by hitting the actual link. You can hop in the chat room, make some friends. It's a party in there right now. Whew. It's regular hootenanny. Alright, so I'm kind of just like looking around this, deciding which area I want to attack next. I'm thinking about, you know, my layers, which one are there. I'm thinking about how they're doing. You know, maybe I'll call them later, see what they're up to. Yeah, no. Alright, cool. Just thinking of some stuff right now. Sorry. Yeah, kind of just popping in, adding little highlights again. I'm thinking about the planes, the tops. Technically, these boots, they do have a top-facing plane, just like the shoulder, so I can give them a lot of that. And right here, let's go ahead and do that. The base right here, this foot, it's going to be really nice. I'm going to flip my hard softy up. Let me try to draw it straight across there so you can see how the top is hard, bottom soft. And I'm just going to quickly just go over that right there. Again, If you subscribe to my Patreon, you can have access to all the brushes I use. Super fun, super cool. Yeah, excellent, excellent, excellent. Sweet, I like that. Let's just add a little more down here. It's kind of a weird fold going on right there. I don't know how that got there. Which one of you guys put that there? You crazy bastards. Alright, well, we'll mess with that later. I don't know what the heck happened there. Aha. Yeah, still not the best, but whatever. Sometimes maybe that's better, just paint over in the end. We'll see what happens. Cool. Alright, so 520. Let's start going over. This guy is fully not like developed yet as far as like all like the base stuff that I'd want to do, but we can hop over to the dynamic lighting right now. Nectar of the gods. Hello, Mike. Thanks for tuning in. What up? What is up? Awesome. Yeah, I want to try Pathfinder. That seems like a really cool game. Oh man, I need to get some of these dice that they have. These like crazy metal dice. Oh, so cool. Alright, sorry, I know I said I want to start dynamic lighting. Alright, now we can start that. Alright, let's just start doing it. Let's do it! Alright, cool. I'm gonna quickly use the layer style that I was using for the main shadow. We're just gonna try this out right now. Like I said, I haven't lit a character like this in a while, but show you guys what's going on here. So I have overlay. This is the inner side of the shadow. So when I paint, everything that's inside the stroke that I paint is gonna have a little like kind of blue kind of fade going towards the edges. And on that same note, I'm going to have a yellow kind of fade going away from every edge. So on the outside of what I draw, there's going to be that yellow line. Why tell you when I can show you? Alright, so cool. So we've kind of set a rule here. You can see that the light is hitting this part of the tree down here. So technically only the top of him, top of him is going to be in this shadow. But let's just do it. You know, okay, cool. Not very shadowed yet. I know. Bear with me. We can increase the fill on that if we want to go super low. Excellent. So this time, this is actually a good opportunity to use some blue. There we go.
That looks like shite, Din.
Well, not finished yet. Okay. Alright, let's try this out. Something else. Cool. Alright, there we go. Now he's significantly darker than the top. His skin's still pretty light. That's alright. It's alright. We can try. If we want to go more fancy, yes, there we go. Let's bring up the saturation. I don't know. It's crazy. Regardless of the value, the stuff that's in blue is like, you know, again, the whole illusion thing tells our brain, oh, shadow, cool. You know, so right on. Minerals cut in. Oh, it's so cool. Dice, like mineral dice, that's so sick. They had some at the Ren Fair, but I don't know if it's because we always can like never go until like the last day. It's kind of just like, well, if we don't go this day, we're never gonna get to go. So it's like, all right, that's, you know, how bad we are at planning stuff. So like, I don't know. Is there a way? I would seriously be so down to do a D&D, like playing D&D on Twitch. I tried to get my friends to do it on YouTube. We've got like a couple videos up, but like they didn't like it. But you can see it's the D&D Adventurists if you ever want to see some stuff. But I'd be totally down to play on Twitch. Maybe we should start a D&D group on there. I cannot get enough D&D. I don't know, maybe it's just because like I love designing characters, you know, and then I get it, like I like to imagine the characters, you know, doing their thing basically, and in D&D you get to see them doing their thing, you know, you get to actually have them do it, so it's like so cool. Oh man, sweet. So I just had a little yellow down there. Cool. So right now, this isn't, it's kind of starting. So we got kind of a little start on him. I'm going to change the outer glow on this. I want it to be a little more significant so you can see exactly where it is like changing. Sorry. Because there needs to be that little, you can see it on his arm right here. Gigantic brush, am I right? Alright, cool. So let's add a little bit of that there. Really good if anybody wants to see this, like other examples of this. The dude that does the persona art, he's really great at that. Like, he's got a nice, like, kind of like shadowy, like that guy, he is doing it. Yeah, cool. So technically that wouldn't be across there, wouldn't be going down as much, but yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Cool. Sweet. So we want that to be kind of orange there, and the only reason I did kind of some orange down there, I'll even probably at the end, just to give you an idea where I'm gonna go with this. Again, I'm trying to show this right now. When I do it for real, I'll probably spend a little more time with it and make it a little more crispy. But just for now, to give you guys an idea, I'll probably even add like a little bit of like, just this green color just on there, so it's like literally just blasting his feet down there. Maybe that's a little too much. And again, like, I'll zoom out when I'm looking at stuff like that, because I don't want it to be so blown out that you can't see anything or it looks a little unnatural. And then it's super easy if you want to tone it down. I'll just have the opacity go down a little bit. But yeah, boom shakalaka, there we go. That's fine. I would like almost the shadow layer to be a little lower on him, so let's try that out. So yeah, kind of like that, so he's almost like in the shadow when he's writing his book. Maybe we can change the angle on it a little bit. Cool, so now it's a little easier to see. You can see that kind of line going across him right there. Very, very, very cool. What? Oh man, so people are playing D&D on Twitch? Oh man, see, I wanted to do that so far. I mean, I wanted to do that for so long. No they don't. That's funny though. She's like, you shouldn't have allowed me to do that, blah blah. That wasn't the rules, blah blah. That's funny. I'm always just trying to get epic in D&D. Cool. So this stuff, alright, so let's go over this right now. Basically, I'm gonna have to shade this guy's face as if I would normally, but instead of using like cool whites and stuff, I'm just gonna use blues, and it'll kind of and I'm not just gonna limit that to the guy's face. Now like everything just gets blue light, and where is this blue light coming from, Din? What the hell is that? Well, it's coming from basically light's coming down, hitting the ground, and then it's bouncing up and just like hitting everything else and kind of just diffusing almost. So that's why it's a very like very soft light, and it's yeah, it's cool. You get it like comes out really nicely in the shadows, definitely. Well, it's I just want a normal layer actually right now. I don't want any layer effects. So here's where we can really add like backlighting and that kind of stuff. And another good thing to do is to take the colors like directly from around you, like from the background. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Yeah. Show that going around there. See, and it'll kind of I don't know if I want to go exactly to the edge, but there you go. Yeah, see, it's starting to kind of pick up from back there, because this light that's going through all those trees is still kind of coming back the other way too. So that's where that blue is coming from. It's like, I didn't just make this up. I promise you. That's cool. So you can start seeing it. Well, kind of yeah, it starts. You can start seeing the form. Even though it's in a shadow, you can still add as many details as you want, and you still get it like, it can be super clear. It's like you don't have to sacrifice like clarity for cool lighting, basically. The reason why I'm doing it on this one, this is just like an illustration. This character isn't going to be modeled in 3D or anything like that. If it was, I probably wouldn't be doing this crazy lighting on it. I would be just doing very clear lighting, just straight from above, just so you could see. Unless someone have a question. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Eternal Stars. Rock and roll, dude. Rock and roll. I heard good question, Cody. Hold on. But then, with all the light on his feet, doesn't that draw the viewer's eye to his feet, not his face? Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, that is going to be a problem. I'll have to deal with that later. Yes, that's the thing. It'll kind of draw down there, and you'll be like, oh, what the heck? So we'll see that. Hopefully, I can have the little little magic kind of happening right here. We'll add that a little later. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it a little bit right now. Where we're gonna try to draw the eye up here is by having like this stuff. It's kind of like, since I want basically the break in the shadow. Hold on, let's move it up a little bit. Yeah, because I want it to be like right where the book's starting to peek through, and we can even maybe cut out some right there. So it's like bam. So it's like see, now you can see that. Yeah, the ground is brightly lit, but because there's such a sharp contrast up there, it's gonna draw your eye there, because it's gonna be like okay, everything makes sense. Wait, what the? Like our eye is gonna pinpoint to the one spot that's kind of like sharper and more defined. So I want them to kind of look at the book, I guess, first. I guess that's where I'm going with that. So that's a great observation, though. That's a very, very good point. Yeah, excellent. Oh, dude, yeah. I get so much inspiration from D&D as well. That's why I have this buddy who's a writer, and I always wanted to play with us, but he would never do it. And it's like, bro, you should be all about this, It's just like, oh, always some excuse why you didn't want to play, and it's just like, all right, man, whatever. But yeah, you can see how it's kind of using the darks and the lights. We can't control the eye, even though everyone likes elves. Yeah, for sure. 'Cause they're awesome. Yeah, for sure. Sweet. So I hope, yeah, I can still see that the focus will go down there. We don't have to, I'm kind of just showing stuff just to be, for demo purposes and stuff. So I will get into more lighting there. Hopefully we can draw the viewer into this zone and the end. But yeah, we'll have to take a little while to get there. And that's why, it is a little risky doing lighting like this, because, it's, you're trying to say something with it. I don't know if he's that eerie of a character, definitely, but, it's fun to try this stuff, and, I want to learn and get better too, so it's good to, push your lighting, that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to use this silhouette. Let's see. Dan, what the heck are you doing there? You didn't even talk about it. Alright, sorry about that, guys. You're right. I just basically duplicated his silhouette layer, just to give a little shadow right there. And then I'm going to kind of just come in and manually cut out where his shadow would be. I have it on a 40% layer right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that same selection, create a new layer. Can I get a brush, please? Can I get a brush? Amen. Let's see here. Can I get the brush now? There we go. Really? You're really messing with me like this right now? Oh crap. I just hit some weird button. Alright, it's tripping out on me. It's tripping out. This is really scary. It's toggle. I just totally closed a lot of stuff out there. Sorry everybody, my Photoshop is tripping. There we go. Is it good? Oh, thank you. I don't know. Classic technology, trying to make you look like a fool when you're trying to demo some stuff. So excellent. So what I want to do now is kind of just go in to where he's actually kind of contacting with the tree and just kind of darken that up a bit. Yeah, we could add a little, we can make this layer like that cool, have the outer glow, inner glow stuff like I have to kind of sharpen up, show a little more. So we can do that. Yeah, mainly I just wanted something there on the ground. Yeah, cool. That's the easy way to make a shadow. You just use the silhouette layer, morph it to wherever you're going, have that go like that. Chill. Am I the only one that doesn't play D&D? Maybe, I guess, man. Shit. But it's never too late to start. I will say that much. Hey, what up, Genji? Nice, glad you can make it out, dude. Sweet, cool. So you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this lighting stuff. I'll add a little bit more to the book. Again, when I started this, I kind of just wanted to show you guys a little bit about it. I kind of skipped some steps beforehand that I would normally do as far as like just detailing the character. So if it doesn't look quite as refined as it normally would, that's why. Basically, I have an excuse if my drawing looks like crap. Cool. So just a little, it's kind of just easy backlighting. We can have that actually fade a little bit more. Just down there, I just wanted to soften it down there. That cool. We might even need to have a little like blue up here where he is. And it's really cool to like know about this stuff. Because like let's say we wanted to have a little like magic stuff going on from his like from the book. Let's talk about that right now. Let's get a little magic going in here, right? All this D&D talk. Sweet. So let me just grab a color, any color. Can I get a color? Any color. Please come forward. All right, cool. And if let's kind of undo some of these shadow stuff. So there he is normally. Let's add some crazy magic. Woo! Oh my gosh! Breeding is magical! So that's where we're going with that right now. Yeah, I know, purple. I don't know what he's writing in there. Let's see. We can always mess with that. I'll add some kind of crazy like glow thing. There you go. Boosh! That's a little bit much, but right on. Right, there you go. Cool. So let me lighten the background a little bit too, just because the background is kind of helping with that. But if the background was all just kind of bright colors like this, the magic wouldn't pop as much as if we kind of have it going into the shadow and this other stuff. It'll like so you can use it to kind of like basically, not to get all like metaphorical with you guys, but there cannot be light without darkness. I guess, what is that, Batman? I don't know, Green Lantern, something like that. But this is like way too saturated to be a good example. There you go, that's a little better. But like yeah, using that dark stuff, you can really kind of help tell a story of it. So that's really nice. So it is kind of nice to know about like how to shade things in the dark and shading them in the light. You don't have to do it at the same time. I mean, you can just have a character standing in shadow if you wanted. But sometimes, like, if you want to have cool magic and stuff, it kind of, like I remember one time I was like coloring this like a cover illustration for like a comic or something, and it was just like, oh, cool, can we have that glowing? Can we make that glow? Can we make that glow? Can we make that glow? And like, if everything's glowing, like nothing's glowing. It's like, if everything's so bright, it's like hard for stuff to feel like it's glowing. So like, don't be afraid to get a little dark, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, don't be afraid to get all dark. Use it sparingly, or use it wisely, that kind of stuff. Cool. Alright, so we're kind of at the point where like I've been jumping around trying to demo so much stuff that it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, I need to just back it up and start going through this properly. Forgive me, everyone. I'm trying to add a little like some kind of pattern to this lovely whatchamacallit here, feather. Jesus. Cool. It's not the best pattern for that. Hold on, let me just angle a little bit. And you can see it's like yeah, it's like you don't have to give up on something the first go. It's like I'll take it and then just warp it. It's like, ooh. Okay, cool. You know, in Star Trek, they go to warp speed all the time. Cool. Loving it. Really want to do my drawing again. Cool. Dang, I thought the purple was nice contrast to yellows. Yeah, chill. Unfortunately, it's not a magical book, so there's no purple there. Maybe we can have some cool purples like in the bookmarks. We could do that. Maybe make the book a little purple. But yeah, definitely a good idea to play with the colors on that. Maybe we can have purple in the leaf. I don't know. I mean, his little feather. Yeah, stuff like that. But chill. Alright, I think I want to start going back, adding little details to stuff. But just because I didn't want to talk about the whole shadow thing, basically, in short, you get light stuff and shadows, but use like kind of the blues and just paint it how you normally would, but using blues, and just stick to those things. You might just need to have the lighting come from another direction, like let's do it. I can't say something without doing it. What the hell's wrong with me? And maybe we'll have the these sides getting like lights coming from over here. So it's like so we're gonna need, instead of shading like from this end coming over like this, we're gonna need to do the side. So almost kind of opposite what I was doing earlier. Nice. But as you can see, yeah, you can totally have it be like fully detailed. Like, you can see everything about this guy in the end, you know, and it will be in shadow. But you know, that doesn't mean it can't. Like, shadow doesn't have to be less light, I guess. Is that what I'm trying to say? I hope so. Cool. Chill. Well, let's get some of that blue. Nice. Yeah, cool. See, it's starting to let's do a little right here. I just want to do up here just so you guys can kind of like see what I'm talking about. And the shadows too. Regardless, like if we weren't doing this like little shadow thing, you could totally squeeze some blue like in the shadows, kind of like right in there and stuff, and definitely under the neck. Like to go in the whole like when students, like our students, will kind of go overboard with stuff. Yeah, that's fine. Like, you know, it's fine to go overboard. At least you're trying it, you know. Like, don't be afraid to like never do something because you don't want to go overboard. I almost think like, yeah, maybe going over is better than not doing enough, because at least you're trying it, you know. So don't be afraid to try it. Don't be afraid to go overboard. Definitely just think about the lighting physics. If it's in the shadow and you have a light thing, just, you know, think about the direction light's coming from. If light's coming from down here, that means your backlight is generally coming from the opposite direction, which would be down here. In this case, of the forest, it's kind of just coming from like anywhere on the left side. It's probably pretty chill. Sweet. Cool. Excellent. Alright, well, I guess it's going to have to go back to the kind of the boring part, because I want to really detail some of these areas right here. Yeah, I don't mean to cut it short, but I'll just keep going. If you guys want to tune out, that's no problem. I don't blame you. But yeah, I think I'm gonna add some like texture to these pants right now. And just continue developing the rest of him. There's some parts like it's his hand. The hand needs a lot of loving. We never gave the skin the loving that it deserved. You know, there's just, when I get into demo mode, I kind of will skip some steps, and you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't kind of skip some things and expect it to just still look good in the end. So I'm just gonna start adding some of that stuff right now. And kind of like, this is a good reason why not to like jump ahead, because like now that I have to do this with all this other like weird lighting going on the top, it's like, oh great, now I gotta like not only light him, but I mean add some of these details, but do it in a weird circumstance. That's alright, you know, we're working artists here, we'll make it work. Basically like like knuckles can have a little red, you know, add a little red to the knuckles. Fingertips definitely get a little red. Noses, obviously. Again, like I kind of went into this a lot when I was working on that Princess Peach picture, so I feel a little weird reiterating it now. Cool. So let's hop back to our regular shade layer. Let's start giving this this lovely hand some light. And since it is in the shadow, like maybe I can just use. I'll just use blue to highlight it. Nah, it's not working. Alright, that's fine. We tried. Didn't work out. That's alright. I think it will work up here though. See this? It just needs to be like kind of blue in there. Like there's no way these fingers would be that bright and clean being that far down there. You know. It's like the whole book was in shadow, but somehow this hand wasn't. It's like, come on. Come on. There you go. That's going to start looking nicer. And it's kind of tough to like just do that, you know? It's like, I don't want to put that all in shadow. Like, that's crazy. But sometimes you got to just be bold like that. Go big or go home, I guess. Nice. Oh, so that's working a little better now. Sweet. Weird song. Chill. Chill, chill, chill. So this hand, we kind of need to go back to that regular normal layer where we're adding all these nice blues. I can just grab some blue from the background. That's never a bad idea, grabbing colors from the background when you're lighting it, because a lot of the colors on the character will be determined by the background. So, yeah, if you're ever wondering, like, you know, it's I don't even know how to say it, but definitely grab the colors from there. It'll definitely give your piece some more unity, that kind of stuff. Maybe I could kind of just like squiggle in some shapes on here just so it's not all just so it looks like a little, there is some detail on there, yeah, something like that. You can shade this one a little blue. And like, yeah, it'll get blue, but in this case, since it is going to be so close together, like he is holding it, the book's coming down, it, you know, there will be black right there. That's another thing that like I'll see like art students do, where it's just like you know, it's like black doesn't really exist. Like, yeah, there's always like blue and stuff. It's like black does exist. Okay, you're a fool to think that it doesn't exist. It exists a lot actually. So don't be afraid to use black, the color. It's like not everything has to be super blue. Like again, it's a big problem with that is like the people will kind of get these weird colors that are like kind of like oversaturated and stuff. And I mean, sometimes it looks cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, like if you're going for a stylized look, like right on. Not saying that my art isn't stylized, but yeah, something to think about and watch out for. So what we got right here is called The Core Shadow. Did anybody see that movie, The Core? Well, I hope you didn't, because it wasn't that good. But core shadows are really good and really important. So definitely don't miss that movie. Should add a little right there. Cool. See, alright, chill. That's alright. Maybe this blue, if we wanted to get super crazy, maybe we could turn that to like another color. It's in 2 different layers, so I really gotta mess with that. Awesome. Yeah, our students are lame, for sure. We are all students of life. Awesome. Where the heck is that shadow layer? There we go, excellent. I want to pop some of these out from that layer. Oh god, what the hell is this? Oh my god. Chill. Alright, a little better. Nice. I really got to go through this music and take out some stuff. So yeah, this is kind of the fine-tuning area. Should I demo texturing on the pants really quick? I feel like I'm all out of like demo stuff. It's kind of just the actual like nitty-gritty, gotta clean up the mess, finish what I started kind of phase. So yeah, it's not much to talk about. That's all she wrote. Again, I'll take into account these top planes. You can give them the most blue. And yeah, you'll be surprised how blue it can get and still be pretty cool. Yeah, alright, well that's good. That's what I want to help you with. Digital is a completely different medium, and it's just such a huge, I don't want to say digital in general, but yeah, Photoshop is such a huge medium, such a huge tool that it's so easy to just get lost in and kind of just get intimidated by. So I would be honored to facilitate in your learning. God, these boots need so much loving. It's pretty cool to get a nice pattern on the inside of the coat. Maybe we can mess with that right now. See what happens. Cool. I just magic wand and hit similar. Now I'll just cut out everything that I didn't want. And we can just grab some kind of pattern. My studio mate, or El Pichon, has some really cool pattern brushes. I've been kind of stuck using the same ones forever, so I'll see what I got. Hopefully it's something. Yeah, I'm not seeing much here, unfortunately. We'll grab this. Hopefully this. I'm gonna grab some weird gear thing. See what that looks like. I'll just scratch it over it, just in the back. I don't know if I love it on the top, if I want to go super crazy with that. Let's try it back here, see what happens. Overlay is still too dark. Let's try this. If it's too weird, you can always try something else. Bring the fill down all the way, and let's add a stroke to it. Stroke it. Awesome. So now it's kind of getting some weird shapes in there. It's at least it's something, right? Oh, cool. Thanks for the hosting. Thanks for the hostage, brah. Awesome. Nice. Yeah, coming at the tail end. I got about 7 minutes left. If anyone has any questions, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, cool. I just want to get a little lighting in the back there. I mean, we can get rid of that brush. I don't need that gear brush anymore. I'm so over that gear brush was so 5 minutes ago. Oh my god. Cool. So I'll just make that go pretty dark. If we wanted to be kind of fancy bands, we could try the blue, but yeah, okay. Blue is like a hit and miss for me on the shadows. It's kind of nice. Sometimes it can give in the shadows, and like I said, you can still see the details, which is nice. Yeah, it's nice, but yeah, sometimes it's just a little unnecessary, and it kind of make it things a little too blue, and it will, you might not get that 3D effect, that realistic effect that you're looking for by using too much blues and stuff. Cool. Sweet. Alright, it's coming along. It's alright. It's looking a little, it's getting there slowly but surely. Excellent. I am going to add just another layer for overlays and that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and add this way at the top here. So you can tell when we're starting to get further along, the more layers it goes, kind of alright, how much more do we have to do with this drawing? can add some. Why aren't we adding stuff there? There we go. Cool. And this one, this layer will just be for basically what's kind of coming towards the viewer's eye. So I'll kind of just go over everything with a little bit of that just to get a little more dimension. You know what I could do really quick, which would be fun right now? I could show you guys. Again, I get asked a lot of times, like, oh, how do you get these cool like shapes in your art and that kind of stuff? Like, something that I'll do oftentimes. Just finish that little boot, scoot, boogie. Cool. Yeah, check chat, make sure there's no specific questions. Sweet. Cool. So let's try it. Let's try this. So what I want to do is select all that good stuff. And I say command and select all layer. I don't want to highlight. I don't want to do this on the skin, but I have this brush that I made. It's kind of this crazy, like just a bunch of triangles, right? And then I got some settings set on to make them like a little more random, all that good stuff. And what we can do with that is I'll just like go over the whole thing. It's oh, excuse me, forgot to put it on overlay. All right, excellent. And I'll kind of, this is kind of like a speed painting technique almost. Like I'll kind of just go through and I'll just be adding some, just like just flicking it around, and I'm not like pressing down like I'm just like, I'm seriously like, you can, if you listen closely, I'll turn off the music, you can just hear me just like tap it, like tap, tap. You know, we're tiptoeing. Think of it, this is like the you know, you're sneaking down for Christmas and you're about to open your presents. You're a little boy. But you can see it kind of like, well, it can be a cool like guide when you start shading like the whatchamacallit, like the, excuse me, all like the folds in the cloth and stuff. It works really well for cloth. Like that's what I mainly use it for. It's kind of nice. We can even mix it up a little more and add like a little shadow on it or something. That didn't go very well. That's alright though. Just flip it. No, that went horribly as well. You can, if you look close, you can still see it. What I'm going to do is I want to, let's just try duplicating it, merging it down again. Now let's try adding that little outer glow, see what happens. Cool. Alright, so now we can barely see it, and you kind of, it just added an extra line around all those little shapes, so it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, gives a little more like detail in there. Let's see without that. Yeah, see, it's makes a pretty big difference for some reason, right? I could duplicate it from there, and then it'd be like too much. But as you can see, it gives you a kind of cool effect, and like when you go in at the end, see, look how cool it is on the shirt. It's like, oh, cool, I can see the folds. And I didn't just like do that and like kind of get lucky. Yeah, I kind of just, I designed the brush to kind of be sporadic and do stuff, but that doesn't mean you have to go with everything on it, you know, like if I do one stroke with it and I don't like it, just Control Z it, you know, and try it again until you get the shapes going in a direction that you do like. Yeah, so it's so yeah, it adds some nice little details everywhere and kind of can start that. So that's really fun. Definitely fun. So if I went over that too quickly, I'm sorry. You can ask me next time. I'll be here next Tuesday. Yeah, cool. You know, next time we'll go back to normal character design stuff. I wanted to get a little crazy with the lighting with you guys. I know it's not the most fun. It's a little more advanced, but you know, hopefully it helps out some people. Hopefully we kind of learn a little thing or two about lighting and direction. Again, let's put on that little square where it shows where everything is. You know, stuff to think about. That's you know, cool. Very cool stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate everyone coming out. It is that time to where, you know, it's dinner time. I bet it was about to go all robotic on me. But yeah, I hope everybody had a great time. We covered a little lighting stuff. Let's try that thing that good old LP Chan does, where it's like, let's see what happened when we started this. Let's see it in the end. So there's what we started with. Oh my god, I'm scared to touch it. Alright, so there it was in the beginning. Zoom in. Oh god. Alright, and then here's where we are now. Boom. So, yeah, you can see, he's matching the tree a little better. We're getting some of this dynamic lighting. Again, illustration stuff, mood painting. Yeah, it's good, if you're painting like story beats for like a film or like a story or something like that, it's good. Concept art, I wouldn't recommend it as much, or like for character design, concept art, I wouldn't recommend using these kind of like dynamic lighting where it's like half in shadow, half on not. Just because, when it gets passed down the line, it's just kind of like, it's kind of weird. Like the painter that maybe will paint the figurine or like the colors, the 3D color modeler might be a little confused. Like, well, what color is it really? They don't need to know how cool and moody and how like good you are at lighting. All they need to know is what color is this, like what shape is this, like how everything is like supposed to be. So it's good to know. You don't have to use it on everything. Used wisely, it can be really cool. I hope I started doing it there. Hopefully it looks really cool in the end. You guys can see like, whoa, cool, the mood lighting, hopefully it doesn't turn an epic fail. But yeah, rock and roll. Really appreciate oh, cool, nice. Yeah, he's supposed to be kind of like he's having fun writing in his book there. I'm wondering if he's writing down the players like fates or something like that. So we'll see. Alright, cool. We'll end it on that note. Again, thank you everyone for coming. It's freaking dark in here. That's the cue to leave. But yeah, thank you for coming. Rock and roll. Jeez, I'm so dark in this room of darkness. Alright, and as always, happy painting.